Right guys, do you own the 1.4 Vauxhall Corsa? Now this engine in this vehicle, it goes right across the Vauxhall range. So if you own a 1.4 Vauxhall, this fault code might relate to your vehicle. Now the fault code in question, when we have just diagnosed it, came up with a P0171. And I'm going to show you how to diagnose it and how to get it fixed. So this 1.4 engine is very, very common across the board. Lots and lots of vehicles in the Vauxhall range. In fact, it doesn't just go to Vauxhall. This engine does go into lots of other vehicles. Just going to quickly use this Think Tool 391 and I'm going to show you what the fault codes are. Just going to run this smart scan now and we'll show you what we've got. There you can see we've already got fault codes in there for the ECM, but you have got two options with this. We can go into the report and we can see exactly what we've got across all of it. As we can see here, we have got the P0171 fuel trim system lean. Now that P0171, we see it all the time. Now what happens is when you switch the engine off, that purge valve closes. So any fuel vapor that builds up over time from heat or anything in the tank, it stops it from entering the intake system. So when you start the vehicle up, it will slowly open and it will vent the vapors from your fuel tank into the intake system. Now, if the purge valve goes faulty, it stays in an open position. Now, what will happen? You'll go to start it and it will struggle to start. And then it will run lumpy. It will then throw a check engine light and it will show that the short-term fuel trims are too lean because it's getting excess fuel vapor from the tank which has built up. And then once it's been running for a little while, it will start to run okay. I'm going to take this one off and I'll show you how to diagnose the purge valve. Right, so let me show you where this is on the engine. If you look, your engine should look similar to that if you've got a 1.4, especially in anything Vauxhall related. And the purge valve itself sits just here. Can you see that? In fact, I'll try the best I can, but it is a very, very sunny day for once here. And now this goes into the intake manifold. So you will have a rubber hose to here. Then there is a plug, which is just a pull up and pull off. And then you've got a vapor from the fuel tank which goes into here, which has got a green horseshoe that we'll pull up and pull off. But I'll get this removed and I'll show you how to diagnose this versus the new one. Right, so first things first, it's much easier to remove the plug and the hose before removing it off here. If you remove it off here, you've got no way of pushing against anything to get these two off. So nice and easy, you just pop that lever up and then push it off. Put that somewhere out the way quickly. So just put that under there. And then what I find with this is just a green horseshoe clip that pushes downwards and then this pipe will come off. So let me go and get a pick. I'll take this out and we'll show you how to remove this. Right, so to remove the fuel vapor pipe from here, the easiest thing I found is if you just get a straight pick that you can see there, and there's a little cut out there, you can just pop it down a little bit from one side. Just be careful with it, you don't need to go mad. And then once it comes up at the side there, you should just be able to get in there and pop it down from the bottom. Okay, like I said, don't need to go crazy. Is once you've pulled this green tab down, there's a push piece on the back there, which is white. Can you see that tab there moving? So push that in with your finger and just give it a gentle pull, and then that is off. And that is all that looks like. So that is your fuel tank vent pipe. We can now just remove this from here. Now the easiest way to do this, I found, is just with a piece of trim tool. It's just a trim tool like that, and that just pops off. And then all we've got to do is just remove it off the bracket, which is on the back here. Don't think you get a new one normally with the purge valve. So that is the purge valve off. And I'll give you the part number, so you have got the GM part number. And that is a Bosch part. You see that? That's it. Right, so now that we've removed the old purge valve, which was fairly easy to do, anyone can do that, we have got the new one. And what's really funny about this part is, we've just taken it out from an aftermarket box, and they've actually scratched out the GM bit at the bottom. So they obviously make these sensors for GM, and they've scratched it out. As you can see here, you would have the GM part number there. This one has actually been scratched out. So you can see that's probably a genuine sensor from Bosch. I'm just going to show you how to work out a faulty purge valve. Now, this should be closed. So when you turn the engine off, this is closed. Can you hear that? That has remained open. Now, if we do the same on the new one, I can't blow through it. So that is closed. This one is stuck open, and that is showing all the symptoms on that car for why this is bad. This remains open. Over the course of the night, the fuel vapors seep into the intake manifold, and then it struggles to start because there's excess fuel in the intake. And then what happens is it throws a check engine light, and you get that P0171. So let's get the new one fitted. And well, Popeye used to do that, didn't he? Was it Popeye? Now that we've got the old purge valve and the new purge valve, it's nice to see that the new one comes with a new rubber, but what you will find is that it won't come with this piece here. So what you're going to need to do is just make sure that when you remove this off here, you put it on the right direction. So what I tend to do is leave it like that, so you know we're going to take it off there. Not very easy to do. Like I say, trim tool is going to be your friend here. So just in order to keep everything the right way, I'm going to put that back on in exactly the same way. There we go. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to fit this back on here. Much easier to fit it on here first and then put everything back onto the back of it. That's it. So just give it a tug so it goes on there nice, and then that should just push straight onto there. I would always connect the purge pipe first to give you the most access to get onto that part there. And then don't forget that the green clip pushes up and in and on. You need that on there really, and that just secures it just like that. And then all we need to do is stick that plug back on like that. Just give it a wiggle test to make sure everything's all nice and in there. And then what we're going to do, we will start it up, clear the fault codes, and see if that short-term fuel trim comes back. Right, we'll just go back into the engine control and we will read the fault codes. There you go. So you can see on here, we have got the fuel trim code. So what we're going to do, we're going to clear them fault codes. So we've got no fault codes remaining. So then we're going to start it up. And I can hear straight away, it's not running lumpy, it's not struggling to start. So instantly I know that that sounds better. So we'll go back into the ECM and we will check to make sure. Look at that, people. No more fault codes. That was the cause of all of this guy's issue. This had already been into other garages and they said, yeah, it's got a fuel trim, might have a fuel leak, it might have an exhaust leak. They come out with all of the different excuses. It is literally a simple check. You only have to blow through this, and if it's not closed, you know you have this issue. Don't forget, as always, guys, it takes 2 seconds to like, share and subscribe, and we can bring you more videos. So, hope that helps you out. And we'll see you on the next one.